Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Minecraft Musings. A few random phrases to just throw at you. Like, also, we need to get emeralds. Ah, yeah, slime and everything. All right, let's hold up on that. We need to. That's what we need to do. But rather than ruining like the external beauty of the area and just building a bunch of just like landfills, how we shove all our trash into mountains and stuff. To be processed for hundreds of years and be broken down and maybe even made into more fossil fuels. Like I don't even know if that's like what the thing is, but I honestly don't know. But I know we shove a bunch of stuff into hills. We could do that here. So, but we need to make sure that the pickaxe is healed. And yeah, so we need to have a bunch of things to smelt. And then we're going to need to clear out an entire area. So we don't actually have the luxury of that yet. We can move things into inside, like, because the other thing is, like, all the trade will heal up the tools. Mm. And I mean, and already today we've been talking about religion, cops, law enforcement, drugs, like, but let's talk about caravans. See, I didn't know that a caravan is a trailer. It makes so much sense now, but like I was so confused when I was watching and again, mind you, like I seem to understand a lot and I've constantly been told that I have like the memory of like social, but then it's like you don't really have a good memory of certain things though, especially names. I'll be the first one to say I don't know people's names for it, you know. It takes me a while and I tell people that too. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm horrible with names because I've got a lot of other things going on in my mind, so it's hard to like commit that to memory. You know, it's almost robotic, almost computerist, but no. A lot of things. Caravans. So, or no, what was that movie I was watching? It was Brad Pitt was the pikey in a caravan. Brad Pitt, awesome actor, rich. So I didn't like him up until I saw Fight Club, and then I saw him struggle, and then I was like, oh, I like him now. Like, and that's the thing. I love, you know, okay, sorry, Brad Pitt and Bruce Willis are right up there with like some of my favorite actors and some of my favorite movies that I've seen. That said, they're still in Hollywood, like living different lives than I do. So then I don't like them because it's like, and it's nothing that they did. They can't help it. They can't help that they were wealthy. I mean, except for donating all of their money to charity, which, oh, whoa. Did you set them free and now they're my llamas? They are. Although, do we have oh, I don't think we have enough posts. Yep, we only had three. Um, Don't want to drag them all inside, so we're just going to do this. Put it somewhere where it doesn't matter as much. Make some fences. Let's see. Yeah, it's funny, like, yeah. My daughter loves animals, but I could see her doing this too, like, for, not for science per se, but just like, you know, to have them, to hold them, like, which is kind of like the whole debate with, there we go, zoos. Like, we can even make them all uniform. Uh-huh. See, he's okay with it. He's over there just, like, still asking if we want to buy something. Oh, and that's a funny thing. Let's talk about Jamaica real quick. So when I was in Jamaica, I went there for my senior trip in high school. Saved up for it, paid for it. Like, so right there, you know, like, any hoodlum or thug or whatever, like, basically a little stoner kid in high school, you know, went to Jamaica, was a total white boy about it. Didn't get shot, didn't get kidnapped, and that's what they tell you. Like when you're, people say like, oh, if you're gonna travel, don't get shot or kidnapped or anything, or like, or if people rob you, and then it's like, okay, wait a minute. So now you're already painting it to be like it's like a super dangerous place, and like clearly nobody could exist down there. But that's not the point. Anybody that would rob you is only robbing you because you're not from there. Like you're an outsider, and they probably see you as someone that's very privileged. Which, yeah, I mean, compared to their living standards, like yeah, you do seem privileged. I seem privileged. Like, and then even like Puerto Rico, like I don't know, and that's not. They're not even poor because of like I don't even know if they're poor first of all, but I know that their infrastructure is just destroyed over and over again because they're in a place that just has a lot of very bad weather and like same with Florida, like that whole area. Actually, I honestly don't know where Puerto Rico is. I want to say it's down there by Jamaica. There's Jamaica, the Bahamas, and I've been there, so I kind of know where they are more familiar with. But Puerto Rico, like, I don't think I could point to it on a map. I mean, Dominican Republic and Honduras? Yes, Honduras. Dominican Republic and Honduras are easy because they're an island that's split in two. So if you see any island split in two, oh, okay. You know, it's like politically, not geographically. Like there's not a line of mountains that splits, or maybe there is. Maybe there's a river. Actually, now that I say that, because oftentimes rivers are what split states. So, anyways, it's just silly. People being people over like tons of history. You know, making little, like right here with this map even, I could draw a line and be like, this is my area. Well, I've done it. I've made every square like up for grabs, basically, with like the people that play in this. But it's not like, I don't know. It's kind of partly the stewards of the land, but see, like right here, I'm altering the land. So this is going to be, but also, if I build this house, will there be birds nesting in it? I mean, I built it out of the wood. I'm growing more trees, so am I creating more habitat for nature? And then with more birds, there's more, you know, this. But then maybe bugs will get killed off. You know, ecology, just understanding how, I think that's the right word for it, ecology, or like wildlife biology. But I think ecology is like the, what that class was called, where we took it in high school. Wait, what am I even doing? We should get that water bucket and actually make like a field. Start really farming crops. So, yes. And I want another one. Do I still have? Yes. Um, there. And we'll do this. Explain circular arrays. So it ends here, then it rolls over to there. But wait a minute, you didn't actually like, you know, move the cursor. You just went one there, one there, one there. So that's it appears to be leaping, but logically it would be right next to each other, or like the pointer of where you'd say, hey, if you're going to go to the next one, you're going to go to spot 0. And from left to right, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, back to 0. And so that you'd put in a piece of logic in any code using that, it'd be like, okay, add 1, add 1, add 1 until, or and then be like, if value is 8, minus 8. And that's it, or subtract 8. Sorry, is like the real way to say that. So then, right there, that little piece of logic means that once you get to here, you're not going to go to 9, which would be off the screen, which is what you see in a lot of video games and a lot of glitches, or like Shrek. If you see the bloopers of when they were making Shrek and all like the issues that they were having with Shrek's face bouncing around and all that, it was because there was an index error or an out of bounds error somewhere there, or at least I'm guessing. Like, if it's anything like the bugs that I've seen. Because I haven't done a graphics class. I didn't get a chance to do that. I wanted to, but I focused on some other things, and I don't think it really lined up with the schedule too. Because like, yeah, and see right there, people that don't go to college might not know that you could understand an entire section of computer science or not, like parallel programming, graphics. What were the other ones? Databases, assemblers, which are basically the little machines, the logical machines. It's a computer program, but it makes computer programs. Like it's basically like building the machine that makes parts for a machine or something like that. Anyways, I don't think we'll be in time for Mr. Wandering Trader here because he has slime. Basically, and so slime is very useful, especially when you play in peaceful. You have to get slime from a Wandering Trader because otherwise you get it from slime blocks that spawn in swamps, but also and in light too. They spawn in light, so they're like the easiest mob to. I mean, because then you can just light up everything, and then you'll only get slime blocks. But it's also bad because no matter what, if you're at a certain level in the earth, you're always going to get slime blocks. So I didn't even think about that, and we're just talking about like building down and into the earth, making like a landfill, only instead making an indoor aquaponics or no, it's just hydroponics. Which even that, I'm trying to think of what even hydroponics is. Like I've heard it and I've seen it and like you know blah 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 blah. But every time I've seen like just weed growing, it's like because that's what. Okay, sorry. A little backstory for people because cannabis, marijuana, whatever you want to call it, has been an integral part of Colorado's society and economy for decades. and it's been illegal. So, but now, like, say hemp is now legalized. Even Cheech and Chong are making gummies out of hemp THC, which are still technically completely legal, but it's basically the same as smoking like real weed. So if you have a drug test, you'll fail the drug test. Like, and, you'll go to prison if you fail too many drug tests, or back to jail, or whatever the severity of your punishment was. So that's just something to consider too. And so, and again, a lot of people are probably thinking, be like, well, why are they doing drugs in the first place? Okay, well, if they had a movie theater, if they had a mall, if they had, ice cream stores, if they had grocery stores all like, nearby where, if they had all these conveniences, and if they could afford them, then yeah, okay, I could see that. But they can't, oftentimes, for whatever reason. And then it's like they need to escape reality through substances. And that is in a nutshell. And I have a lot of friends in rehab and or like sciences, like they're the GAC, GAC, or whatever certified therapists for addiction and recovery. Sorry. Specifically, I'm friends with one of, well, I mean, I haven't talked to him for a while, but I used to be friends with one of the guys that did the 90-day ERT program, which is intense residential treatment, or rehab. That it's like you go there instead of prison. Like, that's like your last chance before you go to prison, basically. And that's the thing, too. If you go to prison, you're not getting any healing. You're not making any progress. Like, you're sitting in a box on hold until you get out. And then you get out, if you didn't make any progress, like, on fixing yourself, then you're just going to be a wandering mess. And I'm not trying to laugh at that, like, that's not a laughing matter, but laughing at the basicness of it and how some people don't understand. And then, yeah, some people, right? No, I'm just kidding. Like, everybody, that's human, that's people. Actually, we don't really... I was looking for a flat spot, which basically, if we were at the base down there in the bottom right corner of the map, on that island thing. Well, so there's the island, and then that's a cool feature in itself, but then there's like a nice gigantic plateau next to that island. And then there's also another like kind of mountain area that has this like nice flat field cut into the side of it. So it's like a perfect place for a base. And really, we have everything else that we need in this world. Like, I mean, I think we have every tree type, including cherry. Now, we don't have a sniffer. We do not have a sniffer. And that's my next, like, goal, is to kind of find one of those. But to do that, I think we do have to kick it back out from Peaceful. So for now, the sniffer can wait. Maybe it'll be in season 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just kidding. I still find it funny, like, trying that, but I don't know. I respect people that are famous YouTubers, what they have to do to get the likes, the subscribes. It is cringe a lot of times, but it makes sense. And even that thing that I was asking for, like the thumbnails thing, like, that's even kind of cringe, but at the same time, like, there's a Minecraft being exchanged for it. Like, there's another well, this is Bedrock, so we were talking Java, and I think Java and Bedrock are the same now. I think if you get one, you can get the other. And so that depends on the platform, too. So I think it's just like a product key from Microsoft owns Minecraft now. But I just saw a YouTube video of Dream, and I don't know if it was legitimate or not. It looked pretty legitimate. Like, it looked like YouTube sent them a thing and said that they were about to acquire Minecraft and that they wanted Dream to be the CEO. So then it's like, did someone just get it? And, like, they could have tricked people, too. And I don't know, that would be borderline, like, illegal, I think, because that's, like, messing with people's economies, messing with people's jobs. Like, that's when people can start getting sued. And again, lawsuits, like, that's why we have so much inequality anyway. So now you're forcing strain on a system that wasn't meant to handle a lawsuit and start paying out, like, millions of dollars or even hundreds of thousands of dollars or even if they're paying out $5, that's $5 that company or business did not account for. It's not in the books. It didn't come in. So that's coming out of someone's pocket, basically, like whoever owns the company. It's like you took that $5, you might as well walk up to the owner of the store, reach into their pocket, and take $5 out of their wallet. That's just $5. Imagine if there was like 10,000, and nobody sues for $10,000. Are you kidding me? E. Jean Carroll got like what, 5 million from Trump? Now, granted, Trump is a Richie Richer, and I don't like him because of that. but I feel bad for him because it's like, and I hate him because he sexual assaulted people. But again, different universes. Like, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying like it's human nature to abuse power, and that's why we're all kind of a little paranoid about people in power. And that's why America's government is still insisting on rotating every so often, even though it's stagnant. We need to drain the swamp. Um, we need to drain. I say we do a mulligan and just have everyone leave, like, and have everyone or have replacements for everyone, and just have a B team, and then the B team assumes power, and the entire A team goes away, and then we start working on building the C team, and then the C team takes over for the B team that took over for the A team, and it goes on until we reach Z, and then it cycles back over just like the buckets. See, we're at Z, it goes to A. Oh wait, we were at A, back up. We want to go back to Z. See? It's as easy as that. And now everybody is equal. A is not better than B. B is not better than C. Because right away, a lot of people are probably thinking like, well, wait a minute, why don't you just change it back to A? Ah, so if you've done computer programming, you can't do that. You can't just swap two things. You need a third swap space or a landing pad. In fact, let's say here. So let's see. So let's say we have these three spaces for this, this. See, I'm even doing swap space right now. I can't move something without moving it somewhere else. It has to exist. So I have this, and I have this. Ah, but now I want to take this. Okay, just for the sake of observation, it has to go here. It is in my inventory. It no longer exists here, but it can't exist here. You can't just swap them. And see, that's the thing is like, when everything is lightning fast or electricity fast or the speed of light, it's like, I mean, it's not exact, like, but the speed of light and the speed of electricity are pretty darn close, especially when you're doing fiber optics for sending data, then it is light. I don't know. Anyways, but really fast. You can swap things. So like, I could do this, put this here and this here at about the same time if I was a computer. Like the instant I could populate both of those. But first I would have to populate one and then populate the other, because even at the nanosecond or the millisecond, the thousandth of a second level, you still have to do it in order. You can only do one thing at a time for most stuff. Then there's like multiple CPUs going at the same time. But anyways, for this example, to switch these two, say this is variable 1, this is slot 1, slot 2, slot 3. So we want slot 1 to become slot 2 and slot 2 to become slot 3. Oh wait, so slot 1. I already messed it up there. So this one has to go here. And then this one can go there. And that goes there. So that was more like what a computer does. If you want to change what's in this memory location from a piece of acacia wood to a piece of dirt, and you want to change the dirt to a piece of acacia wood, that's how you have to do it. First, you have to remove one to make a vacant space. And you can even place that there. So then that becomes that. But then wait, now we're here. So it's like part 2 of the puzzle. And then now here, oh wait, we got to, use the proper thing because it's a wood variable or it's a wood block. And now place a new one there. But it is the same exact thing. It's just like this and then this. They're all the same exact thing. It's a block object or a block of dirt object. Anyways, and this even looks weird. Let's get rid of that. And that. And that. See? Just kind of rounding out the corners and making this more... Although it's more unnatural, too, because it's more natural having these little imperfections and things. So, we'll leave that there. That way, when I stumble upon it, I'll be like, why is there a random block? Oh, yeah, because we were talking about swap space, and we were literally only using this piece of sand, or this sand block, the sand block under here, and then the sand block under there. So... All right, back to social inequalities and violence and crime. See, that's why it all relates together, is because I'm passionate about law enforcement and law enforcement reform. I'm passionate about corrections and corrections reform. Now, corrections, well, actually, sorry, no, I'm not even passionate about that. Law enforcement, yeah, because people are doing it. And I guess that's the same way for corrections. But even that, I'm less passionate about that because it's like, and so are they too. People that work in prisons, that's not a glamorous life. Like, your entire job, your profession, your career is to just watch them, not to talk to them, not to teach them things. Because what do you know that they don't know? And like, vice versa. Granted, a lot of that changes, but when you're really thinking about it, their job is just to make sure that you don't kill each other in there while you do your time. Like, you serve your time. Maybe you do classes, like, and there's a lot of that too. Like, they go to the gym, they go to, um, yeah, it's just, you gotta remember, these are human beings in a cage for years at a time, like entire sections of their life. And, just talk about fear of missing out. Like, I feel bad if I miss a day. Like, if I forgot to do something, I feel like I got robbed because of my time. And it doesn't matter who did it or what it was, like, I feel robbed. Now imagine that for 365 days, so just 1 year, and if you have a 5-year sentence. That's why I get so mad about Biden, Hunter Biden. Like, don't get me wrong, the laptop thing, whatever. Like, I don't think that's really anything. I mean, again, that's like data protection, like the cybersecurity aspect of it is like, I heard last that it was actually stolen from him and then given to a pawn shop. So if that's true, then it's like, okay, I mean, how do you prepare against that? And then how do you make sure that it's a legitimate theft? Like, because that's kind of the joke about the mafia, at least with The Simpsons, is they have an episode where the mafia steals Homer's car and destroys it, and then he gets the insurance money, which is a crime, but the mafia specializes in crimes like that because it is servicing people that can't afford to do things the correct way, so they have to do what's called the fast money or the illegal way, but the shortcut. And the shortcut is a shortcut because if we could have been doing it that way, we would. That's the human nature. If like we did that, like if it was meant to be, we would be doing it. Now, okay, business. I constantly go back and forth about that because business is basically like the mafia, only with lawyers. And the lawyers are perverting our country, really. I mean, they were a good idea in the beginning, but oh my gosh, like you can get away with murder if you have a good lawyer. Or you could be put on house arrest if you have enough money. Or, this and that and this and that. And it's like, and while most people are out there saying, they're like, I mean, not that I would want to, but say it happened. Say I accidentally kill somebody or I intentionally kill somebody. I was that mad at that time, but I've since calmed down. Like, or if I was trained to kill people, like if I was a soldier and then I come home and I accidentally kill somebody or intentionally kill somebody, like any of these things, then boom, you're dead. You might as well just kill yourself. Like, but you don't. You get locked up in a box for life or for many, many years, and then the country has to pay for you. But you can't work, and and that's why they justify the slave labor, is because like, well, you're already there, let's at least get some use out of you. Because you are providing a service, you're providing the need or a demand for service, sorry. So you have a demand for jobs, for people to sit there and watch you be in a box and not kill each other. So that's about it. That's our country's penal system and judicial system. But why doesn't it change? Because nobody ever goes to jail that's wealthy. Okay, yeah, wealthy people do, and that's changing, so thank goodness, finally. But look at Trump. Like, even if he gets charged, like, he's out golfing right now. He has been charged. He's been indicted, which means that they are pursuing charges. I don't even know what that means. Like, I know plenty of people that went to prison for stupid things, and he's out playing golf, and possibly, like, the thing that should be, like, what kills you, like high treason or whatever. Like, if it turns out to be, and even then, like, I laugh at that because that's such a stupid thing. Like, that we still kill people, even if they kill people, I get it. Like, ugh. We need to remove the way that actually works. Because that's how you fix a lot of things in cybersecurity and tech. Like, if you're trying to disable something, like, say, crime, you just remove a piece of the puzzle or a piece of the equation that allows for it to happen. Now, I mean, you could try to build that sandcastle while the tide comes in all day, because that's what it's like doing the whack-a-mole after the fact thing, like trying to solve crime by punishing people and catching people. No, you solve crime by investing in communities, investing your time, your money, your everything into the communities, and not into, well, and see, that's the thing. Everybody is doing that, including shareholders and stuff like that, but they're not, and they don't understand that they're not, because by trading stocks and stuff, you're forcing somebody out there to make some quote unquote good business decisions to make sure that you get paid. And not only that, because they feel like they need, and then the more work they do, the more entitled they feel to having some more pay. Okay, well, but they're not necessarily creating more money. So then they just, and that's how our capitalism gets run away from us, or runs away from us, basically. And how do you fix capitalism's runaway? Or the fact that capitalism is a runaway right now? You put a cap on it. You make education, law, and healthcare non-profit. That's it. And you have to do the changes over time, about 10 years maybe, I don't know, just throwing that out. I've never seen it done, so that's my guess. And here's how. So with cheaper education, everything else becomes cheaper. Everything else. Because the skill, the labor used to do those services and produce those goods becomes cheaper. So with less cost, even with shareholders, like mind you, we just got done talking about how like Wall Street is basically like robbing you, but they don't know it because they don't, out of sight, out of mind. Like if they don't know that a business is doing unethical things or things that are actually, I mean, considered legal but unethical. Because remember, slavery was legal. Not only was slavery legal, slavery built this country. So right there, I mean, and we learned this in public school. Now maybe a lot of people weren't listening, and that's probably true because again, some people don't learn that way. I mean, if you just talk at someone for hours and hours and hours, and this is kind of a thing that I kind of have with my own kids' schools, like, oh, what was it? I got a nasty gram because my daughter missed like too many days of school. It was like, well, she was sick and she lives, and I have a co-parent. It's two households, so it's like, she lives between two houses. Maybe we had different plans, and then each parent wants to pull them out for what is considered the acceptable amount of time. And mind you, I didn't even pull her out of any days of school, and I got her to school every day. That was my responsibility, but I understood she was sick. And as a normal parent, like, so basically it was just like we were just getting a warning, like, we've noticed this. And it's like, okay, and it doesn't matter how they say it, they sent you a letter to let you know. And it's like, oh, it's like an official document. So it doesn't matter what it says. Like right away, people are going to be thinking, oh, is this going to come back to bite me? Like, is this a court thing? Like, do I need to, what do I do? All of these things when it's just like, they're just trying to let you know that they want you to bring your kid to school more. Please do it. Like, or they're aware of it too. Like, there's multiple reasons for sending a letter like that. Like, it's just like having a gun. Like, cops have guns, and a lot of times it's just a deterrent because then people know. Or no, a good thing is Super Troopers, the movie. You need to watch Super Troopers because even in that, and I'll tell you just one spoiler of it, you still need to go watch it for many other reasons. But again, Bollywood. Like, I feel like, and one of the guys is, I want to say he's, sorry, that's kind of racist, but I feel like I saw his name, and I want to say it sounded like he was Indian, but I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. That's the thing. I'm not trying to be racist and point like, hurting people or anything. It's just, I don't know. So, but anyways, one of the main characters from Broken Lizard, which is the company that put out Super Troopers. They also put out Club Dread, which was a horror, comedy horror. It was supposed to be a spoof on a horror. Just like Not Another Teen Movie was a spoof on all the teen movies that we had. And I'm sure Bollywood is doing a lot of this stuff too. They've got so many movies that it's like, now we're making movies that make fun of the types of movies that we made in the first place. Like, that's what a remake is, or a spoof, or I don't know. In fact, we have Scary Movie, the entire franchise, that includes the actor Leslie Nielsen. And that's all it is. It's like a culmination of all of the scary movies in America's history, and then making fun of them. Or not all of them, mind you, all of the color ones, and then by that I mean not all of the B ones, because Mystery Science Theater 3000 makes fun of all of the B movies, and not just horror movies, but mostly horror movies and sci-fi movies, because those were like the more ridiculous, because people could see what they wanted in their mind. Like in their mind's eye, an idea made sense. Ideas like science fiction are enough to make an entire religion. Scientology is based off of L. Ron Hubbard's fiction books, his sci-fi books. Like, and I'll say that again. This religion is based off of his sci-fi books. Now, granted, this could actually be closer to real than Christianity, because guess what Christianity is based off of? Sci-fi. Oh, I'm just kidding. But there's a lot of stories in there that seem like fiction. I mean, so then it's a leap of faith at that point, and that's where a lot of people get upset. Is like, no, no, I mean, but it must be true, and but then it's like, but really, like, where did you see that last? Like right now with crickets, like we kind of have the apocalypse going on. Well, okay, crickets make sense because every now and then nature has cricket migrations like that and exploding populations or decreasing populations for whatever reason. Like, I mean, climate change is real and like human enacted accelerated climate change is real, but not even just that. The climate change that a lot of climate deniers, so-called climate deniers, um, and I do this sometimes on Twitter. I'll tag it climate scam, just because that always gets a retweet from a bot that is all about pushing that propaganda that it's not real, it's a hoax, it costs money. And yeah, and that's like the Republicans in a nutshell. It's too expensive, we can't afford it, stop spending our money. And then people hate Democrats because they think that they're just spending a lot of money when it's like, well, yeah, even if they are spending a lot of money, look at the programs. Like I retweeted something that was like, thank a Democrat if you like, and it had all these things, like social welfare programs basically, because people run on hard times. And it's not because they're lazy. It's not because they're dumb. It's not because they're like people thought African Americans or just black people were, because they're not all African Americans. They could be African Italians or African Cubans or African whatever. Like, just like I'm German Irish, but unfortunately my skin color is like all the other, you know, like 1/3 of the world. Because even that, like, I don't know, it's weird. One time I was trying to propose an idea of gradients, like use the metric scale for skin color, but that would take a while to catch on. What is that? Oh, that's my alarm, but it was really struggling there. It was like vibrating for a while there. Interesting. I wonder if that's why, like, because sometimes I sleep through my alarm, and sometimes it's because I set it for the wrong day, or I got a lot of. Oh. Oh wow. Okay, sorry. I was reading it. See, right there. My bad. I was reading a text. I should have edited that out. But anyways, I'm not to that point yet. I'm still learning YouTube. Like still, I manage systems for a living. I can understand encryption algorithms. I can write. I could probably write assemblers now if I had to. Like I understand all these things. Even parallel processing. I don't know how to do it. I'd have to look it up. But I understand how it works. Like, I mean, so, and I'm still figuring out how to edit YouTube videos. And I've only been doing this for about a year. I know it took Mr. Beast like multiple years to get famous. And I was just watching a video of him with like ships and stuff, and it was really cool. So, anyways, we'll see. We'll see what happens with all that. But again, not on his radar. Like he's got millions of people asking for help and things and stuff. I wasn't even asking for help. I was out. I was trying to offer help, and I'll still wait for that reply and see what happens. But I'm not gonna worry about it if it doesn't happen because again, he's super busy. He's got his own candy, his chocolate line, chocolate gummies, and like there's like a third thing. See right there, like my memory. I remember he has multiple products. I knew he had Beast Burgers, but basically he's making money, even though he has tons of money. And in order to make everybody around him better, and then make everyone in the world better, like one thing at a time. So really, we just need to be patient. As my voice almost cracks, like we just need to be patient for Mr. Beast to save us. And who is Mr. Beast? He is made from all of us. We all that donate money or even likes and subscribes, because it's that advertising, and then it's the wealthy people that see what he's doing. And I'd be interested to see who some of his biggest donors are, because I'll bet you it's some of the most random wealthy people that you wouldn't expect. Because that's just it. It's people. People are donating money to this person, and this person is out there doing great things with it. He's doing some really ridiculous things too, which is hilarious. But I mean, same with Monty Python. There was a bunch of wealthy people, musicians basically, that bankrolled the Monty Python Holy Grail movie, and it made tons of money. So like, it was a risk, it was an investment, and it was a risk of an investment of faith too. Like they believed in this people to like make a good movie, and it was. And the world needs to see the Holy Grail. But anyways, I digress. I'm gonna take a break. I will see you in a bit. Ta ta.